Here we respond to Byron Medina Pena, 9438, who mentions that we should talk about Xantolo. But what is Xantolo? Our current Dia de Muertos, Day of the Dead, in Mexico is a syncretic celebration, and depending on the region of the country, it has different names. Among the Maya groups in Yucatan, they call it Hanan Pishan, or Food for the Souls. Among the Purépecha, it is referred to as Animecheri Quin Quechua, the Feast of the Souls. In another region, we have the Huasteca, which encompasses the north of the state of Veracruz, the south of Tamaulipas and parts of San Luis Potosí, Puebla, Hidalgo, and the Sierra Gorda in Querétaro. In this area, there are several indigenous groups, some of which speak Nahuatl. From these groups came the word that names the celebration of the dead in several areas of the Huasteca, Xantolo. This derives from foreign words, more precisely from Latin. Specifically, it comes from Festum Omnium Sanctorum, which means the Feast of All Saints. This expression, when contracted, is Santotum, but it was modified to be called Xantolo. Another version of the origin of the word suggests that it is divided into Xanto, holy, and the Nahuatl Olo, abundance. Obviously, the current Xantolo, as we know it, did not exist in pre-Hispanic times. The various celebrations of the dead then were not celebrated on the 1st and 2nd of November as we do today in Mexico. The arrival of Europeans unified the different pre-Hispanic celebrations in an attempt to eradicate them, resulting in the syncretic product of our current Dia de Muertos, while Xantolo has differences from other celebrations in the country. It also shares many aspects in common, such as altars, at different levels, the cempasúchil flowers, and of course things that deceased enjoyed. However, unlike what happens in large cities, this celebration retains more characteristics of rural life and agriculture. This bears similarities to the Celtic Samhain in Europe. This is not meant to scare us, as Xantolo is inherently syncretic and continues to function today. Sometimes it's even referred to as Xantowin, as it has adopted elements of Halloween. This is evident in its celebration and dances, where they are foreign and non-pre-Hispanic elements. Yet, within all this syncretism, pre-Hispanic elements still survive. For instance, altars generally have an arch over a table, with items underneath. This type of offering represents three levels. The arch is the sky, but also the doorway through which the dead come to us. The table and the offerings placed on it represent the earth, and what is beneath it symbolizes the underworld. As previously mentioned, agricultural aspects survive in this celebration, similar to those of Celtic festivals. In both parts of the world, these festivals around November 1st and 2nd coincide with the harvest season of maize. We have two planting cycles, Chopamile, May-June, to November-December, and Tonalmine, December to June. Thus, it is not just that offerings include things the deceased liked. The offerings themselves symbolize the things that were harvested and are not offered for future planting. They are a symbol of the abundance that the earth provides to both the living and the dead. In the Huasteca, unlike many other parts of Mexico, this celebration of the dead is not limited to November 1st and 2nd. In many areas of the Huasteca, offerings are made in homes and domestic altars, in milpas, and or on hills dedicated to deities and the deceased to ensure a good harvest before the traditional days in November. Many begin Xantolo on September 29th, with the first offering to the deceased and the feast of San Miguel Arcángel. The celebration then continues from October 30th to November 2nd, but extends until November 30th, when the dead are sent off. In November, the harvest is gathered and the maize cycle closes. Thus, Xantolo encompasses more than just November 1st and 2nd. A similar tradition existed among the Mexica, who also celebrated the small and great dead for 40 days prior to the current November, rather than just the 2 days that most do today. In this celebration, the ritual aspect combines with dance, especially that of the so-called huehues, ancestors, who open the sky for the souls to descend. In some areas, we also have the dance of the gavilanes, the Huasteca version of the dance of the voladores. In short, the current Xantolo is a grand celebration that includes music, dance, Christian elements, pre-Hispanic elements, as well as agricultural components, all of which together form it. That's all for now. And well, you know the drill. If you have questions, ask the Quetzal.